So let me just say this in regards to these specific people on, like how it happened to them, as a result of how the company president just, never ever changes his ways on how he runs his own people to the ground. I'm talking about his employees, like how he treats them, how he makes them work, just literally making them, and I'm included, do so much just to fry our brains out, just to get paid so damn little. And as far as these specific people here, for the sake of this video, I'm not really gonna, mention the names, but I'll just describe each situation here as to how that is mainly a cause of how this dump operates, as far as how the company president runs that place and how he makes the upper management just continue to, up to this day, to bend the knee to him on, as far as like how he values them so much, that he just thinks it's okay to just keep them forever, and that, that this is how they want to, they want to lead and make this place as it is. Okay, so let's start with the one who, unfortunately, with his untimely passing in 2017, I really don't want to say the reason why. This is where I would probably I'm more comfortable enough using a different video site, like a Patreon, where I would really say what I want, like, comfortably. But for the sake of this one, it's I'll just keep it to where it's just that his untimely passing, as a matter of fact, I'll just say his name here, Willie. I love that brother. I played ping pong with him a few times, and he was one of the funniest dudes I've met. He was just so creative in how he jokes, and I remember the one time I was in the bathroom after work finish, and he gave me like a joke right there. I forgot what it was. It's like an IQ joke, but it was just so funny. He made me laugh, and it just sucks to see his untimely passing just happen, as a huge shock. And by now, like, I figured the reason why. I know, like, per Lisa, there was more to it in regards to that, to what happened with him. But again, I'm not really gonna say every reason, but based on what she told me, and as for the rest of the guys who knew the reason, it's just unfortunate that it had to come to that. And even though it may not be, the reason may not be directly, as related to how the company president operates and how he runs his troops, I'm talking about his employees, to the ground like crazy, despite the fact that he underpays them. It's part of why a lot of people like myself and Terrence and a lot of these other guys just, you know, we just get drained like that, and we feel a certain way. I mean, how do you think I feel about like why my moves are always off? It's you know, it just goes for everyone that works in this dump, and it's to a lot of why a lot of people left. You know, we're all drained. It's because of the way the company president treats us. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, with the case of my other co-worker, you know, like, yeah, he's only one of the few I'm really cool with. And he already had two very shocking moments. One was last year. I remembered I did the Klay Thompson, you know, what was it, that game where apparently that was his last as a Warrior. He was scoreless, right? I needed to make 6 threes, which I did with the Warriors ball. I remember on that day, he, you know, I heard him. I heard him moaning. He was in pain in the restroom, and he had to be escorted through an ambulance. I think he had like a gallbladder issue. That was last year, right? This year, he had 2 accidents, and I know this dude was known for like missing. You know, he's always in and out, right? But you know, I thought that might have been, you know, still been the case, like as to why he's, you know. But unfortunately, this time it's, you know, I'm just wondering why he was missing so many days, and now looking at the situation right here, I was told that he had 2 accidents. And why he had those 2 accidents, I don't know if it was the second accident. From what I heard, I think in the second accident, he had this mass, or how do you say it, like this mass on his head, and unfortunately, you know, that's another word for I don't know if I'm comfortable enough saying it here, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, you know, no, actually, I'll just say it more like a brain tumor, like that. So right now, like, he's supposed to have surgery coming up in August, and yeah, it's just I was told that he was supposed to come back like later on in the year, but the reality is, you know, I've been saying this, and it's no disrespect to my guy, but you know, I just think it's best that he just, you know, especially after all the crap that he went through, and trust me, I hear him sometimes. I hear his frustration. He was another one of those dudes that just got that is like brain fried, like me and the rest, you know, with the ways of the company president. And look, he has so much respect for everyone, and I like his loyalty, I like his kindness, but dude, at the end of the day, man, he's got to go. And I'm not saying it because I don't like him, dude. That's my guy, but he has to go, man. I just don't like to see people like him just continue to go through this crap. I'm sorry. Like, he deserves better than how much he and me and everyone else are being paid, and all the crap that he has to deal with. Like, look, I understand he really enjoys his position, but in the end, you know, this dude used to be a real estate agent, and you know, for the most part, he I think I can see him do get a job in that again, because he does so well in how he approaches people. I like his approach to people in general, but it's just unfortunate that, you know, with what he has to deal with now, it's like, just think about it. As of what happened to you know, to what's her name, Tamara, God rest her soul. You know, just look at the crap that she had to go through. Like, I know she does her best in making the sales and all that, and she was my second mother, but you know, she had to go through so much crap too, and to the point that, like, when she's been there for that long, and you know, unfortunately she had what she had, you know, the aneurysm, and it just sucks that she ended up having to leave in September 2019, and it's just, you know, and she never came back, and nobody ever said a word. Hell, nobody ever says a word. Okay? And look at the case of you know, of one of the sales managers. She went through a heart attack episode, and you know, from there, you know, she could have retired, but you know, in the end, it's like she had to go through another 3 more years, when most of us thought that she should have just retired already, you know, right after that. So, I mean, amen that you know, she's still living, and now she's living a better life in retirement, you know. But in the end, man, like, just see what happened to my guy, and you know, to my other guy, Willie, and my second mother in Tamara. Like, people like them, just what does all of this have in common? You know, the way they're being treated, the way that the company president is just, I'm not saying it's directly his fault that he literally, you know, caused this, but like, when you consider that he never changes his ways, and you know, ever since I started working in that dump, like, you know, that he for as long as he keeps doing that, like, look, if he's gonna continue to work us that way, he should have paid us at least $20 an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. I'll say 22, but it's too low, man. Like, everyone's just being paid low, you know? And so with all this, he brings so much stress to a lot of us. Hell, maybe like even all of us. It's all that stress just to pay us that low. Like, come on, dude. Where are we getting at here? This is why he should retire, but you know, I know that he won't. And whatever happened to these people, like the people that, you know, that's happened to them, it's like, you know, it's as a result of how he runs us to the ground like that. I mean, this is how he does things. As far as like frying people's brains out, and like, just, you know, with the way he wants us to work, and you know, do his favors, and like, you know, it's like, change your methods, dude. I understand he's old school and all that, but in the end, it's gotta, he ain't gonna change. He has to change.
He can't adhere to the modern society, the modern trends of technology. Hell, a lot of these companies, I bet every single company is using AI now. AI is widespread, yet this company is not really utilizing AI that much. So, it just sucks. I mean, I feel like I'm seeing some suspicions as far as like what happened with these people that I described, and unfortunately, you got two unfortunate, untimely passings, and you got one that's having to have surgery pretty soon, and the other one is like, she officially retired, and it's like, dude, this may just be as a result of like they're all drained, just like me and Paula and a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. Just sad. It's just a sad reality of what the people, including myself, had to face. And I'm glad for those people like Lagos and Paula and Laura, Melissa and Andrew, Francisco, all these guys who left. They're in a better place now. Hell, even Lisa, Rico, Kathleen, Cynthia, Araceli, I can name a whole bunch. Juan, Gabby, Lewis, the other Lewis, my other guy, Lewis, from service. They all deserved better. I'm glad they were out of there so they can live a much healthier lifestyle. And some of them have probably sought counseling and mental help after what they've gone through, with all the crap they had dealt with. I'm just saying, man. Like, I just feel I have suspicions with these specific happenings, and it's to the point where like I just have to wonder how all of these have like what has led to all of this. And obviously, when you have somebody like a company president that with his old school ways, and especially to this day, and how he makes his own employees work, like to the point where they're getting drained and they're out of, their moods are out of sync most of the time. And it's like, this is probably how it happened. It's like, dude, like, learn how to pay your people right. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these tariffs taking effect. And this is how he does his ways, and they're never gonna change. And that's why the business of this dump is the way it is now. I'm sorry. So anyways, man, this is all I gotta say, dude. Just really sorry to see what happened with these people, and I just have my suspicions as to how all of this has happened. And for as long as that same company president's still there, and to this day I know he's still gonna be there. And I agree with the front desk. He's probably like in his 80s now. Dude, he needs to enjoy his life. That's all I gotta say. That fool needs to just enjoy his life. Period. Let his son take over. Or else, I'm better off just doing myself a favor to try to leave. Okay, bye.